It can upset you before the day even starts. You wake up foggy, miss a simple thought, and wonder if something is very wrong. You may stand still for a moment and feel your heart drop. A name feels far away, a small task suddenly feels hard. Then the fear rushes in fast, not just annoyance, not just tiredness. The deeper fear you may not say out loud. You may ask yourself, was that normal, or was that the beginning of something bigger? That question can stay with you all morning. Sometimes it starts before breakfast. You open the cabinet and forget why. You stare for a second too long. Sometimes it happens with words. A simple word disappears in the middle of a sentence and you feel embarrassed for no reason. Sometimes you look at your phone, your calendar, or your pillbox and nothing feels clear right away. You may try to laugh it off, but inside, you are not laughing. Inside, you are checking yourself very closely. You may replay the moment again and again. Why did that happen? Why did it feel worse today? You may notice how quiet this fear is. It does not always look dramatic. It sits quietly in the room with you. It can show up while making coffee. You pour, stir, stop, and suddenly forget what you are about to do next. It can show up in the bathroom mirror. You look at your own face and wonder why your mind feels one step behind. It can happen while getting dressed. You hold one sock, then the other, and feel strangely slowed down. It can happen when the house is still quiet, no noise, no pressure, yet your thoughts still feel cloudy. That is often what makes it harder. There is no big event, no emergency, just a normal morning that feels off. And because it feels so ordinary, it can feel even more personal, like your private fear found you before breakfast. Maybe you do not tell anyone. Maybe you smile, keep moving, and carry the worry by yourself all day. Maybe someone notices you seem distracted. That alone can sting. You do not want every small slip to be watched. You may start testing yourself without meaning to. What day is it? Where did I put that? Oh, was I just thinking? That kind of self-checking can become exhausting. The more you watch your mind, the less natural your thinking feels. If this sounds familiar, stay here with me for a moment. You do not need to force anything right now. Just take one slow breath. Notice the kind of morning fog that scares you most. That fear matters. Morning brain fog can mean many different things, and not all of them point to the worst thing your mind fears. Sometimes your brain feels slow because your body is tired. Poor sleep can leave your thinking dull and heavy. One bad night can do more than you expect. 2 or 3 bad nights can make your whole morning feel unfamiliar. If you wake often, dream heavily, or lie awake worrying, your mind may not feel fully rested by sunrise. Stress can do this too. Even quiet stress, the kind you carry in your chest without talking about it. Grief can do it. Loneliness can do it. Pain can do it. A big life change can do it. Even a change in routine can throw you off. A trip, a late night, a missed meal, a busy week. Some mornings feel foggy because your mind is overloaded. Too many things to remember. Too much pressure to stay sharp. And fear itself can make the fog feel worse. When you panic over one slip, your thinking tightens even more. That is important to understand. Anxiety does not only come after the memory slip, it can shape the slip too. The moment you think, what if this is serious, your body can go on alert. Clear thinking often gets harder then. That does not mean your fear is silly. It means your fear is powerful, and your brain feels that pressure. Sometimes medication can play a part. Sometimes dehydration can. Sometimes low energy or poor eating can affect the morning too. None of this means you should ignore what you notice. It means there can be many reasons a morning feels cloudy. You may also notice that the fog lifts later, after food, after water, after moving around, after your nerves settle. That pattern matters. A foggy start is not the same as a whole day of getting more confused. Still, the fear can cut deep, because morning is when you meet yourself first, and you know when something feels different. You may sit at the edge of the bed and think, I used to feel clearer than this. You may remember a time when getting started felt easy. that memory can make today feel heavier than it is. You may worry that this is how decline begins, quietly, slowly, in little moments no one else understands. You may feel ashamed for even thinking that, but fear does not need permission. It shows up anyway. You may repeat a story later and feel terrible afterward, not because anyone was cruel, but because you noticed it. You may lose a name you know well and feel shaken for hours, not by the name itself, but by what it seems to mean. You may start avoiding little things, phone calls, appointments, busy mornings, anything that might expose that foggy feeling again. You may become extra careful with every step, double-checking doors, double-checking times, double-checking words before you speak them. That kind of caution can wear you down. It makes ordinary life feel like a test you never agreed to take. So let me ask you something gently. When does this fear speak the loudest to you? Is it when you first wake up? When you cannot find a word? When you forget why you entered a room? Is it worse after poor sleep, after a stressful day, after being alone too long, after too much noise? You do not have to answer out loud, but noticing the pattern can calm the fear a little. Because one memory slip does not tell your whole story, one foggy morning does not define your future. You are more than your worst moment before coffee. You are more than one lost word or one missed thought. And there is something steadying about that truth. It gives you room to look closely without immediately assuming the worst. A kinder way to respond is to name what happened simply. This morning, I felt foggy. That is enough. You do not need to turn every small slip into a final answer. You can let it be one moment first. That alone can lower the pressure, and lower pressure often helps your thinking come back more naturally. Another helpful step is to track patterns instead of panicking after one rough morning. Keep it very simple. You can write down the date, how you slept, how stressed you felt, and what the fog was like. You may start to notice something useful. The harder mornings may follow bad sleep, tension, pain, or busy days. That does not solve everything at once, but it gives you something real to look at besides fear. Sleep deserves special care here. Not perfect sleep, just kinder sleep habits that make mornings easier on your brain. Try to keep bedtime steady when you can. Dim the room, lower the noise, give your mind a softer landing. If you wake with worry, do not attack yourself right away. A frightened brain in the morning feels foggier. Water can help more than people think. So can eating something simple. So can gentle movement around the room. Sometimes the brain needs a slow start, not a harsh one. A calm morning can support clearer thinking. Another helpful step is reducing mental pressure. You do not have to remember everything in your head alone. Write things down without shame. Use a calendar, use a note by the door, use a simple morning list. That is not weakness, that is support. Strong people use support every day without making a speech about it. A pill organizer, a written plan, a basket for keys, a notebook by the bed, these are not signs of failure. They are quiet tools that help your day feel safer. Safety matters when your mind already feels uncertain. It also helps to do one thing at a time. Morning fog gets louder when everything comes at once. If the television is on, the phone is buzzing, and you are rushing, your mind may feel even more crowded. Slow the scene down if you can. One task, one thought, one step, that can make a real difference. Staying mentally engaged also matters, but gently. Not like homework, not like punishment, more like giving your mind company. Read a little, do a puzzle if you enjoy it. Call someone kind, talk out loud while doing simple tasks. Use your brain in ways that feel alive, not forced. A lonely mind often feels foggier than a connected one. And if you notice changes that keep growing, feel unusual, or begin affecting daily life more often, talk to your doctor. Not because you should panic, because you deserve clear support when something keeps bothering you. You can bring notes if that helps. You can say, "This has been happening more in the mornings, and I want to understand it." That is a strong thing to do. Calm attention is stronger than silent fear. You do not need to diagnose yourself in the dark. You do not need to carry every question alone. There is also comfort in telling someone you trust, not for drama, not for pity, just for relief. Sometimes saying, "I've been feeling foggy in the mornings," makes the fear less heavy inside your chest. Keeping it hidden can make it feel bigger. Shared gently, it may feel more manageable and less lonely. And if someone you trust responds with care, that can steady you more than you expected. Please remember this part clearly. Being scared does not mean you are broken. It means this matters to you. You are not foolish for noticing changes. You are not weak for feeling shaken by them. You are not failing because you need reminders. You are not less worthy because your mornings feel harder sometimes. You are a human being trying to feel safe inside your own mind. That is deeply understandable. Some mornings will still feel off. That may happen. But an off morning is not a full verdict on your life. There is still room for clarity. There is still room for routine, support, steadiness, and calmer thinking. There is still room for good moments, good conversations, and mornings that feel much more like yourself again. So if today started in a fog, do not let that moment tell the whole story. Let it be one chapter of one morning, not the final sentence about who you are becoming. Be gentle with yourself at the kitchen counter. Be patient with yourself in the mirror. Be kind to yourself at the calendar. Your mind does not need punishment. It needs care. It needs rest. It needs less fear around every small mistake. And right now, even this quiet understanding can help. Sometimes feeling understood is the first kind of relief. If this spoke to the fear you carry in the morning, you can stay close to this space. You can like the video, subscribe, or leave a simple comment like, "This felt familiar," if you want to. And if you come back another morning feeling unsettled, you will be welcome here again, just as you are.